Hey guys, welcome to the stream.
Hello, everybody.
Got Mark and myself here today. We're going to be showing everyone the automation that we've set up around the Blüm Finance marketing and all the great stuff that's going to come out of that.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So we're going to show a bit of a, I'm calling this a Degen Deep-Dive. So back to targeting our little tidbits for our current community, our loyal community. I just want to show all the work that's been happening behind the scenes on Blüm and how we're going to be converting customers into, basically, Blüm customers into P-Hub customers. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. And
right.
show your screen and check out our wonderful Blüm webpage.
Yep. So, I mean, this is where all the magic always begins. It's always, well, I shouldn't say always, but pretty much the vast majority of our customers are going to start by entering their email address to learn how to get a free $1,000 staking position. From there, that's when they basically get put into the whole automation sequence, which we'll give you guys a little view of right now. So this is our current automation campaign. I'll let Marcus explain. He's set this all up.
Yeah, so this is exciting, and this is what we've been talking about with our deep dive automation that we've got going here. So the concept here is, as you've probably, if you've tested Blüm, you know there's about 4 or 5 stages that we need customers to actually get through in order to become PegHub customers, really. Because as you know, Blüm inflows all go right into P-Hub. So previously, the issue that we had with DeFi, and the issue that most DeFi protocols still currently have, is that there's no way to target somebody once they drop off, or no way to communicate with anybody at all, really. If a wallet address, you see they've maybe made a position and then withdrawn, that's it. You have no idea how to contact them. Or previously, we would have people coming to P-Hub site, like you could see the website traffic, but obviously you wouldn't know what they're doing, or you don't know who it is. So the way we've gotten around that now, and the reason that we're going to be really successful on these campaigns that we're launching now, is this exact automation here. So as Aaron showed on the front, on the main page, we're going to be capturing people's email addresses to get your $1,000 stake position. And that's going to be the bulk of our marketing is, get a free $1,000 stake position, not just on the website, but you're going to start seeing those ads all across social. And that, in order to get that, excuse me, they actually need to supply their email address. And as soon as they do that, we get them in this campaign. And you'll see that you're going to be progressing along. So if you've selected your bonus, you get a certain email. If you've selected your bonus and connected your wallet, for example, you're going to get another email. And the point is to continuously show you what the next step is and remind you you're this close to unlocking your bonus, or you still have this step to take in order to secure your bonus. And yeah, so maybe just pick one of these guys.
I was just going to add a little bit to that. So while we do require them to provide their email to get the free bonus, it's set up in a way where we're trying to progress them through all the steps without really needing to send them any emails, right? So once they supply their email address, we're putting it right in front of their face to, select the asset that they want for the free stake, go and connect your wallet and claim your free stake. So the emails are going to be critical because not everyone's going to go through and do those 3 things I just mentioned right away. So you'll see that what we've set up in the automation, or what Marcus has set up, is we'll go through it right now, but essentially users are tagged at various stages as they progress through all the steps that they need to do. And then as soon as they get a tag showing that they've gotten to a certain step, all the previous emails that we're trying to get them to that step are obviously no longer going to apply to them. So they'll just immediately move up in the sequence here to where they need to be in order to get emails to progress them to that next step. So basically what we're going to be doing is, there's no reason really anyone shouldn't take a free $1,000 stake position. So we plan to get our, bounce rate, or, basically we're trying to convert pretty much every email address that we get into, getting that free stake position. And we'll keep tweaking, the website, the sequence, the emails until we get to that point. And then, that's when the more difficult part, but, it's nothing that we can't handle, is later in the sequence, where it's getting them to make that actual stake deposit to be able to claim out their bonus that they've gotten. And we'll be able to fine tune every stage of this if we find that people are getting stuck at a certain stage, we can finesse the emails. We can add more than one email to have them go out certain durations. And basically we can keep tweaking this until it's a well-oiled machine, essentially. I'll just jump into, so let's just jump into the first one, for example. So,
and that is part of the reason why we are, slowly turning the tap on our marketing, is we don't want everybody to come and find out, oh, people are dropping off at a certain spot before we've tweaked it. So you'll notice we've had about 3 or 4 campaigns slowly launching, and we're seeing people cycle through our thing, and we've actually have already made a bunch of updates and fixed a few things. So now we do think we're pretty close to perfect, but there's always room for improvement.
Yep. So you'll see like a lot of these elements here that are, wait 15 minutes or wait an hour. So what a lot of those are doing is, for example, we've received their email address. Now we want to give them the chance to select the asset, because that's the page that they get to. That's kind of like the thank you page. Thanks for submitting your email. Now let us know which asset you want to receive for free. So that's why you see these waits, just to, give them some time to get to that next step, so we're not bugging them about it, before they could have even completed it themselves. So just as an example, let's jump into this one. So this is when we would have received their email address from on our website or from a landing page or any other source, and they have not selected a bonus asset. So they basically got to that page to select an asset, but they didn't do it within 15 minutes. So let's take a look in there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to send them out this email. So we're doing a little bit of magic with tags here. It's not too important. And we got a nice, beautiful email here that's, basically going to welcome them to Blüm and, get them started with picking their asset. And, we have this type of email for every stage. And, in the future, we can definitely have numerous emails. So, right now it's at the point where they're getting this email. We're waiting at least a week, and then we're marking them as inactive so that we can, try to re-engage them a different way. But yeah.
Yeah. So at any of these stages, I mean, you're never going to convert 100%. So when we do have somebody drop off and we notice they haven't engaged with our site for a week, as they're showed there, we're going to tag them inactive. And you can send a follow-up email and say, hey, just maybe you forgot about Blüm. Don't forget you still have your free stake position. And the other cool thing is that we've got it all in a database. So we know this person selected 0.1 Ethereum as their free stake position. So now in our email automation, we can actually say, hey, you've got 0.1 Ethereum waiting for you. Why don't you complete your steps on Blüm? And that's just something that we've never had before on any of our protocols.
Yep.
I would say it's bullish signs for sure.
Yeah, and actually, just to add to something, one of the very first things you said is, in Web3, it's very difficult to, kind of re-engage or even to know who's interacting with your DApp. And, I can't really stress that enough, that it's, in the Web2 world, marketing automation has progressed so far that, to just not be able to use any of that with Web3 was, it was really holding us back. And we didn't know which marketing campaigns were working, where people were dropping off. We didn't know anything. And that's the issue with having everyone just be a wallet address. But this, it really does address that in the best way, while still sticking true to our Web3 roots.
And just a quick story time to show how much thought and work we've put into this. We've met with a bunch of vendors and all these different possibilities to help us with our DeFi protocols. And, nobody had solved this issue. So there was one vendor that was the leader in, marketing to DeFi. And they could give you all the wallet addresses that you wanted to target. But of course, they had no way to contact them. And it was just pretty crazy. that was their product.
So Captain Hindsight's asking, are there any stats you can give us in terms of ad impressions, click-through rates thus far, and what percentage of users have got through to different stages?
Yeah. So, and as I said, we haven't turned on all the marketing campaigns yet, but from what we have, we're seeing about a 7% click-through rate, which is really high. So it does show that our promotion is something that people want, which obviously, get free crypto. Who doesn't click on that? I know there are Nigerian print scams with that, but the way we kind of put it is a little bit nicer, and people seem to be clicking on it. So we've got about a 7% conversion rate right now, but that's just to get them through our
to our website or to our landing page. Yeah.
And then we are seeing people, I'd say about half of them get all the way to the point where they've connected the wallet. So yeah, and now what we need to start working on is retargeting those people that have already confirmed their bonus, connected their wallet, and now we're just waiting to make that deposit and get the initial stake. And
Yeah.
that's part of the nurture campaign that we're going to have, is continually showing them, hey, you've got 0.1 Ethereum waiting for you. All you got to do is deposit to secure your bonus.
Yeah. So this sequence here is one that's going to likely be built out substantially, because this is when, they've already received their free bonus, and basically we're just got to email them to let them know that they've got to, get some stakes going, just so that they can take, claim their bonus. And the timing with the market should be excellent as well, because, we should have a ton of people taking free positions right now, and those positions are likely going to go up in value. Markets are looking like they're probably going to be going up in the near term. So it's all the more reason for them to want to claim out that bonus and get some stakes going.
Here, the fact you guys can tweak everything in seconds and improve a little bit of parts, that is very awesome. Adapt to every environment. Yeah, and that's what we've been doing for the past week, and it is the reason why we're still slowly turning on marketing taps, because obviously we know everything's not perfect yet, but it's getting close. And as Captain Hindsight here says, 7% is awesome, and yeah, it is. I was very impressed. Usually, a good conversion rate is about 1%. So to see 7% so far is really very, very optimistic for us. And how have inflows been so far? Well, I guess we've had a couple of inflows, but obviously we're still on a very small sample size still. So once we start really pumping out the social ads and Google ads, if we maintain even close to a 7% conversion rate, which probably might drop off down to like the 1 or 2 we're expecting, but the amount of people that are going to see it, converting that, I really think it's going to drive a lot of inflows, especially as soon as you get somebody into any of this automation campaign. As you can see, they can enter into any point. So even people that first connect with a wallet and then give us their email address, we have a way to get those people as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I still think we're going to be converting a lot more than like the 1%, which is usually a really good conversion rate.
Well, I think it's important to keep in mind too that, the way that we've designed this is that we're very strong in every part of the flow, basically, like right from generating the lead. Like we have such a compelling offer: get $1,000 of crypto, get started today, right? So we're gonna get that high conversion rate to the landing page. We're gonna get a lot of email addresses, but the only downside with our plan is that it doesn't lead to inflows immediately, because they're getting that free stake position, they're checking it out, they're getting the feel for everything, and then they have 3 months to make that deposit, right? So it's not going to see inflows like right on day one, because they're not required to make a stake on day one. But getting them into the sequence is really all that we need to do to secure those inflows for the near term future.
And one more thing to note is that people are getting a free stake position right away, and that's actually already earning the APR. So that's something that we really wanted people to see. If they come back in a week and log into their Blüm account, they're going to see that 0.1 ETH has already generated a little bit more Ethereum just by having it as a free stake position. So that's another part that we're going to be able to target later and say, hey, your 0.1 ETH is now 0.123 ETH. Don't give up on this opportunity. Feel free to follow through on these steps here.
Yep. Got a great question here. What are the risks of depositing? Would I be able to withdraw at least as much as I deposit at any point? So there's no impermanent loss factored into this. So it is something where it's a pure single-sided stake. So whichever asset you deposit, you will not be subject to your funds going down due to whatever's happening in the underlying pairs. But in terms of being able to withdraw whenever you want, there is an early withdrawal penalty. So you'd want to stake it for the amount of time that you actually really do want to stake it. And as long as you do that, then you'll withdraw what you've deposited plus any interest and, plus your initial bonus if you decided to opt in for that, and, anything else that you've earned.
Aaron, maybe just if you go to the webpage and you can show the rates page, and you can see the different times and rates. So you got 90 days is the minimum stake. So yeah, if you just want to test it out, do a 90-day stake, and then after 90 days pull it out. But yeah, as Aaron said, if there is an early withdrawal penalty if you do go less than 90 days. So Just pick your stake depending on how long you're willing to lock it up for, and that's the APR you're going to get.
Yep. I love the version of Web 2.5, which is offered by Blüm to its future consumers. Definitely. The best of both worlds. We're going to keep improving
a lot of work to ensure that it's easy for people that aren't used to Web3 to be able to use Blüm. So you'll see one of the most important thing is you can use your current email address or social accounts to access Blüm as a Web3 wallet, which is really, really cool. Because we found a lot of people just got stuck at having to download and install MetaMask. A lot of people just didn't want to learn to do that. Using something they're familiar with, like social logins or email login, is a lot easier. There you see with Taurus Wallet, yeah, you can just connect with Google, connect with their email, or any of these accounts. So really easy to log in and get going. And I'd
say it's been a bit of a challenge to build the actual app itself because obviously we have bomb chain power and everything in the back end. So to give the Web 2 feel and experience, but having the Web 3 engine, essentially, it did pose some some development difficulties just to make it as easy as possible to use. People aren't used to having to wait a couple seconds for a transaction to confirm. They're used to just having it, with a centralized database where they press a button and everything's just done almost instantly. So we've, addressed all those minor inconveniences and, feel like we've really knocked it out of the park in terms of all that. So
yeah, and really another great part of the Web 2.5 that we did was another huge roadblock that we would find is people just didn't understand the need for gas and why you would have to, and even how would you preload your MetaMask with gas to be able to work on bomb chain, right? It's a little bit confusing for people that don't understand blockchain and Web3. So you'll notice if you create your Blüm account, you're immediately credited with a tiny bit of bomb, which will be enough to cover all of your transaction fees.
Yep. All right. Well, let's take any questions and comments on what we talked about, and we'll wrap this one up. Try and keep things short.
Yeah. You got any other questions, or want to know how everything else is working? Just feel free to get in the next minute or so. But yeah, you can see we're really excited about this, and we've done a lot of work on it. So now's the time. We're just going to start pumping out the marketing.
Got a comment here. Taurus integrations, the thing I like the most about Blüm. How I see Blüm is your experience in DeFi in a way of decentralization, but also simplicity of Web 2, like centralized exchanges. Yeah, that's, definitely what we're going for. So really love seeing the comments showing that it's come to fruition and that, others are seeing it as well. So really appreciate that.
Yeah. And just one last thing, while we wait for any last minute questions to come in, you'll notice on the Blüm page, we've got our blog, and that's just, we've got some content writers developing really good stuff for the blog. So you see, that's our latest one, and this is just we're trying to get really relevant content on crypto, blockchain, investing, and so you're going to see this blog being really populated and really also starting to drive traffic through organic search.
Yeah, actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll also do some of the tricks that I, used to use in my other, Web 2 type businesses, and get like a bunch of all the sharing icons going, and maybe we can get our community to even share some of the blog posts, and it'll really help pick up SEO for Blüm super quick.
Yeah, and I know all our loyal community members are already on socials, but it always helps just like, share, follow, and you'll see these blog posts also popping up on social. So this is going to be great content to spread around our social channels.
Yep. Awesome.
All right. Looks like no more questions and comments. Really appreciate all the great questions, great feedback. And as always, if you've got anything else you want to know, just stop by Telegram or Discord, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you got. And until then, we'll see you guys next week. Yep.
Have a great rest of the week, everyone.
When does marketing go full throttle? I would say within 2 weeks, we'll be full throttle. We're still slowly ramping up. We've got ads starting throughout this week, but within 2 weeks, we'll probably be full throttle. As you can see, we are still adjusting all of the automation as bits of the marketing have trickled through. And I think we're at a good enough conversion rate that we can go full, as you say.
Although we did do a huge email blast to our leads in the last 2 days. We sent that, or yesterday it was, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So we'll know based off how, where those people are dropping off, or if if everyone's getting through the whole sequence, we'll know with a lot more confidence how well all the automation's working. So I'd say once we see the results of that in a couple of days, we'll be able to give a better answer to the full throttle marketing. But yeah, I'm sure the answer Marcus gave is pretty on point.
Yep. All right, guys. As Michelle says, bye-bye, guys. We'll see you guys later.
All right. Take care, guys.